Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Torment, Tides of Numenera. This is Colonel RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that you chose to join me today here as we get into the pyramid that has something living inside of it. It's a thing. It's a thing. We forced a tidal connection last episode with it, and it hurt us. But let's hope that this is safety.
Just what I needed.
Oh. Those things literally peel back. The interior of the pyramid swirls with a mysterious energy. A loud, plaintive chittering beckons. Before you can react, a powerful gravitic force yanks you and your companions into the structure, away from the horrors of Mil Avest. He wrenches the other surviving cast-offs inside as well! Yes! Hurling them to other places beyond your reach, and you suddenly find yourself somewhere else. Okay, so those guys survived. That's fantastic. Ooh, this looks pretty cool. What is it? It really does look pretty cool, but what is it? It looks like dragons up there or something in the portals. You are pulled through the ferretry, which is the pyramid that we just got through, and the world goes dark. Your sense of sight has suddenly failed. You try to move your limbs and find that you cannot. You're alone, cut off from everyone else. You sense the terrifying... I heard it. I think you might have heard it as well. I think you hear the game a little bit better than I do. You sense the terrifying presence of the sorrow as it surges through the portal behind you. Knowing you are trapped, it reaches out and is hurled back, shrieking in fury. It cries. Its cries vanishes at once, as if an impermeable wall has suddenly been raised between you. A terrible new... That's the chittering that we heard. A terrible new sound fills your ears. A chittering, whispering cacophony. Something probes at the edges of your mind. Something vast and incomprehensible. Let's resist with all my might, because I don't think I want this. I don't really know what this is, but it's easy to resist. You breathe deeply, channeling your instinctive fear into cold fury. Then you focus that fury against the thing that is probing your mind. At once, the chittering sound ceases. It hasn't yet, and you sense the vast presence regarding you more carefully, perhaps even respectfully. A new sound is this the first cast-off? That's the new sound. A new sound replaces the chittering, a bone-jarring hum, like the buzzing of insects' wings the size of mountains. It grows stronger and louder. The sound becomes a dull ache that spreads throughout your body. The ache becomes pain, hot and searing. You grind your teeth, straining to concentrate, to keep the intruder out of your mind. Then, without warning, it stops. You feel a sudden sense of recognition and perhaps surprise. The chittering fades and you slowly wake. What is this? What new treasure is here for me to find? A friendly voice booms. Opening your bleary eyes, you see an earnest, gray-skinned non-human with a toothy smile. He is tall and wide across the shoulders and exudes great strength. His hands terminate in long claws. That tattoo, he thinks. So another of the Changing God's children has made his way here. It's been a long time. But where are my manners? My name is Dracogen, and you are in the bloom, though I dare say you didn't expect to arrive here quite like this. His voice is warm and welcoming, but there is something about his tone that suggests something more predatory. His cast-offs always find the most exciting curious for me, he thinks. He studies you briefly, his eyes roving across your body with practiced ease. Do you have questions? Perhaps I can answer them for you. Yeah, how did I get here? All I did was touch the ferretry. You don't remember? A pity. It must have been something to experience. If you'd come down from the Memovirus fortress or along one of the roadways, you'd know that path you took. The pathways of the bloom are strange, and not all its roads are pleasant. Oh, so that's the chittering that we heard. It was the bloom itself, I think. But it respects us now. Cool. I felt others pulled into the ferretry with me. Where are they? Who knows? The bloom's motivations are inscrutable, and its tendrils pass through countless worlds and dimensions. If you were brought here by the bloom itself, then these others you speak of could literally be anywhere. And what were those voices? The bloom is a living creature, with a reach across dimensions. Its consciousness, if I may use that term, is unlike anything we know. So unless I miss my guess, what you heard were some of the many voices of the bloom. Oh. So, tell me about yourself. He swells with momentary pride. I am I'm gonna say Dracogen, because that sounds a little bit better. I am Dracogen. I'm the man who can find what you need, even if you don't know you need it. I deal in information, and I pay those who work for me handsomely. Ask anyone here, and they'll tell you I trade fairly. You might also ask them what happens to those who try to cross me, but I don't think that a relationship starts best with threats. We should work from a common interest. Perhaps you can do something for me? What do you want from me? A business proposition, my friend. I wish to prove my value to you, and then you can provide value in return. I trade in information, favors, and Numenera, and it so happens I know about you and your kind. You're a cast-off of the Changing God, an old acquaintance of mine. Indeed, I have known a number of your brethren. I even know about Neil Avest, your secret refuge. So ask, and I will do what I can to provide an answer. So, what do you know about cast-offs? I have met your sire. I know that he makes and discards you. I know that the sorrow pursues the Changing God and destroys his cast-offs as a consequence. I know more, but my trade is the information. We'll speak more of what I know later, perhaps. I know you are hunted, he thinks, by what might be considered a natural enemy of the bloom. Oh. I did get that impression, or the impression that, maybe the bloom wants us to survive, and maybe it's the bloom that's actually doing something here for us, in terms of just, getting us here and maybe putting us in the right place. So if it is a natural enemy of the bloom, maybe it makes sense? Most cast-offs prefer not to come to the bloom. It is a great predator, and something about the psychic energies of your kind seems to have a great appeal to it. Perhaps some residue of your sire's life? Yeah, Neil Avest has been destroyed by the sorrow. Shock flashes across his features, and he wipes it clear quickly. I am truly sorry to hear that. I never had the honor of a visit, though I longed to go. Such accumulated knowledge, so many artifacts lost. The value of the pieces would have been worth... Well, no matter. What's done is done. That is valuable information, he thinks. I need to think on how best to leverage it. Yeah, I know it's valuable information. So I'm here looking for the first cast-off. She has been dead for over a century. Have you tried her tomb? Yeah, I have, actually, I think, but, she's alive. That's another information. Let's keep giving him information, see if that turns out something interesting. She's alive, and she's here, in the bloom. Mazov told me. Mazov? How interesting. In any case, you seem to believe what you have said. I concede that common knowledge is not always correct, and I bow to your surety. I do not have your answer, but I know one who might. His information is intriguing, he thinks, but I'm more interested in how we came across it. If you wanted to know anything about the bloom, you should speak to its ruler, the Memovira. Yeah, Tell me about her. A hard, ruthless woman. She holds control of the bloom because it favors her. She uses this advantage to dominate the trade routes and control access to the maws that lead to the other worlds. But the maws are closing, and thus her funds are dwindling. Oh, really? Huh. So where can I find her? Inside her fortress. But she has locked her gates to outsiders while she considers the problems that face her. Only those who can provide something of value to her get in now. Like me. And he bows. Really? So, I see. So what do you want in exchange for an introduction to the Memovira? I once had claim to an artifact, but it was spirited away to a place called the Ascension of Kex Lianish, a realm of crystalline beauty. I need that artifact back. It's called the Magmatic Amulet. That's a... Magnetic Amulet? Is that what... Anyway, a circle of dark, hyaline material. It is of great interest to me. Great interest. I believe that you may be uniquely suited to retrieve it. And he bows again. Find it, bring it to me, and I guarantee you an audience with a Memovira. How do I get to this ascension? Follow the caravan road to the trade post. You'll find a maw there, and it will take you to the Ascension. Or rather, it did, he thinks, but that's why I'm sending you, Cast-Off. Your kind always finds a way towards your sire's footsteps. What if I decline? He shrugs. You won't get into the Memovira's fortress, and most likely you'll be devoured by the bloom, with nothing left of you but memories of what could have been. But as with all things, this is your choice. A stubborn one, this, he thinks, but give him time, no doubt he'll come back.
Remember that.
He gestures towards the large, open chamber behind him. Ask around. You'll find that I trade fairly. You'll also find that I brook no deceit. He stifles a yawn. But I have other business to attend to. If you wish to gain access to the Memovira, you had best go. Oh, and if you happen to see our mutual friend Tibir, please let him know that I like a word.
I'll remember that.
Remember, the magmatic amulet from the Ascension. Best of luck. And he's off? Where's he going? Or is he gonna stay here? He's gonna stay here. Maybe. Yeah, he is. So we know where to find him. Fantastic. What is this thing? This muscular orifice that first expelled you into the bloom. Oh, this is the muscular orifice that first expelled you into the bloom. It quivers and clenches in agitation. It does, doesn't it? It's not very pleasant looking, I don't think. Odd-looking symbols flicker across these screens. They appear to be the communication devices, but they only respond to Dracogen's touch. These shanties are constructed entirely of tanned bloom flesh, with a framework of harvested bone and gristle. Isn't that really painful for the bloom? I guess not. We got a lot of slaves in here, and some exiles as well. But these guys talk, which is interesting, and so does Dracogen. And we have Vrung and Delny? Kion over there, and a refugee. This tent is made from scavenged canvas and flimsy wooden poles. It smells faintly of sweat. Ugh, that's not nice. Someone built this simple structure from a motley assortment of planks and timber. The wood is rotting in the damp air of the bloom. Indeed, and that one is more tense, I suppose. Can I click that? These tents look and smell like nests of vermin. They're littered with moldy blankets and scraps of rotting food. Yeah, let's look around a little bit. Let me just look over here at the map. So we have a... Well, that's something over there. Let me just, give me just a little bit, please. Okay, sorry about that. Oh, man. Let's level up, yes, but Eritis wants to talk to me. And hopefully we'll be able to go to Saga's Cliffs, to do things, but we'll see how things go. So for right now, let's have a chat with Eritis.
Oh?
Hey.
Oh. It's you. Can I ask you something?
If you didn't know better, you'd think he looked thoughtful. He rubs the side of his face, then the corners of his sleep-bruised eyes. I've been pondering some things for over an hour about what happened back there in Mil Avest. All those people with stories so like your own. And now so many of them have just stopped. And I barely knew them all. Knew them at all, he says. How... He pauses, toying with his doublet, or doublet, I suppose, and staring at the sky. His glow pulses, growing brighter and brighter until it is hard to look at him directly. How are they supposed to be part of my story if they're dead? We don't like this thought. Suffuse him, blind him, says the other voice. Yes. They're not supposed to be part of your story. But that's not him talking, is it? Yeah, they aren't part of your story. Most of them were born long before any of us. Oh, of course, he says, chuckling. I don't think the world started when I was born. He shakes his head. I often wondered what it was like, you know? The whole world waiting for me to be born, but not knowing when it would happen. But then, he slaps his forehead. We weren't talking about me. We were talking about your family. They're... He begins, then winces. The glow around him is glowing brighter than it ever has before. He doesn't appear to notice, however. Their stories are over now, aren't they? I mean, unless they come back at some dramatic moment, more powerful than they were before. I love doing that. He's still talking, says one thought. We are filling his eyes and thoughts. He is still talking. But assuming that doesn't happen, says Eritis, what does it mean? Their stories matter to them, I think. But what do they matter now? The golden light of his aura and his casual words can't quite hide the glimmering beads of sweat rolling down his cheeks. Is he afraid of death? I think this sounds like it's somebody with an existential crisis. This is very much existential, questions. But it sounds like it's somebody with an existential crisis, but putting it in words that you'd put maybe at a shrink or something. Just, but just putting it in somebody else's roles. You know what I mean? Like, it's Eritis asking questions with the voices that these things give him. He's just afraid to die, I think. I think it might be as simple as that. I like to think they live on, I will say. In our memories, if nowhere else. The stories of theirs that we know are part of something larger now. Yes, he says wistfully. A larger story. I've always lived life to the next adventure, but now I'm wondering where it will end. What will it be like? He pauses, choked by his own thoughts. What will happen after? You will inspire others to follow your example, to host us, to entertain us. Who is this? Who are these demons in his head? What? To entertain us? To host us, to entertain us. Oh, they're having fun with him. That's what it means. Yeah, but just as a warning, if you're writing a story or if you're having thoughts like this, life is a tragedy, and the whole drama is getting rid of that tragedy, or deal with that tragedy more, not really getting rid of it, but deal with it, because of the ultimate end of every life. So yeah, that's why stories have an end, because life doesn't really, unless it is the end, and it is the tragedy, or it's always a tragedy. Even if you die in an amazing battle, it's still a tragedy. If you write the story of somebody that dies at the end, that's still a tragedy. Or even worse, if you write a story that's full of people dying all over, no matter how heroic they're all going to be, there's still going to be a tragedy. So, Eritis, stop thinking about that, mate. Just don't. I'm going to try and save you. Hopefully I will be able to go back up to Sagas Cliffs, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to need a doctor from there. What is that? Is that a robot from Star Wars or something? I don't know names. RPC 700. Okay, let's level up, people. And I don't need to level up because I am amazing already as is. Actually, I would like a little bit of experience. How exactly am I the first to level up? Maybe I'm not. And yeah, let's see. So you need to increase. No, actually, let's see. So that's Eligern, and he's gonna need. Let me look at his inventory. Okay, so he's got a bonded artifact over there. Cipher limit is good as it is. I'm not really afraid of that. I would like some increased stat pools. This works off of might, right? Yeah. Okay, so mostly for speed, to be honest. What is this? Yeah, his stat pool for speed is terrible. The thing is, he's got things here that work off of that, of speed. So extra effort is really not good for him, I don't think. I'm just gonna go with increased stat pools. He's really gonna need. Oh, you can't? How can you not? What is up with that? Why can't I bring up his speed up? Speeda? Let's go with might, I guess. That's gonna be that. Okay, so he can't level up again. He's still tier 3. Yeah, I'm at the forehead. I'm at the front of this. Okay, as for you, Eritis, the extra effort is interesting, although the weapons do have maximum attacks or maximum damage, so I think we're already nudging that. The increased edge would be interesting, but not really relevant, or would it? Or would it be relevant? I wonder if the edge, let's see. Edge represents your innate talent with a particular stat pool. So my point is, each edge reduces the total cost of activating an ability and or spending effort by 1 point. Okay, so yeah, basically edge counts towards your maximum. So basically your max effort is 4, so we can apply 3 plus 4. And that's that. So that is what I was thinking of. So I'm gonna go with, we eventually are gonna need all of these, but I'm gonna do with, I'm gonna go with increased edge on might right there, because that's really what he uses, and that's that. And now for you, Rin. Oh, we're still level 2 or tier 2. Let's see. Improved skills would be an interesting thing. Do we have perception? I have perception on myself. Let's see if she actually gets something here on the skills. So she's going for the lore, the running. She's the only one that has that. Let's go with that. And there we go. What? She was saying stuff. Doesn't matter. Let's try and save this guy. It's it's not being kicked right now. They're just pretending that oh, maybe he's afraid. Maybe these are... It's a woman, I suppose. Here, take the money. Just leave me alone. Well, off they go. What's going on? A woman, barefoot and in rags, stands defensively beside her tent. Despite her obvious poverty, she crosses her arms and holds her chin high. And what do you want? Another dangerous-looking one, she thinks. Gods, is there no end to the predators in this place? Well, you look like... No, she probably is not going to trust me if I ask that right away. So if I offer help right away. Let's see. Who were those people who ran off? She points her chin in the direction of the tunnel that leads out to the courtyard. They're called Delny and Vrung. They've been squeezing money out of me for months. Protection, they call it. Though obviously they only mean from them. I wish I could do more than simply cave to their demands. But as you can see, I'm not exactly equipped to defend myself. It's all I can do to survive. Yeah, actually, I wanted to help you, but you just gave them the money. How often do they steal from you? Too often. I barely have enough to feed myself, and then they take what's left. Usually more than what's left. Yeah, why not call the guards, though? Guards? You mean the Memovitas thugs? All they do is guard her interests and extort money from the gangs. The gangs, I mean. They don't keep order, unless you can pay them. That's the way of the Bloom. Delny and Vrung can do as they like, as far as anyone else is concerned. Well, maybe I can help. Where did they go? That. They crawl out of a hole somewhere deeper in the Bloom. Little Niliash, I think it is called. I'm not the sort to wish violence upon anyone, even people like them, but I hope something happens to them. Are you really not the sort? I'm so naive, she thinks, hoping for help. Still no harm in pointing one potential thug to another. Yeah, that's true. But then again, sure, whatever. I'm not gonna question your seeming hatred towards violence as a concept. Will you tell me again? No, not again. But I can ask again, no problem. So, tell me about yourself. She gives a weak smile and curtsy. My name is Kion, and the Bloom's most pitiable storyteller and self-titled innkeeper, though I admit that inn is far too fine a word for my little tent. Still, I can provide a meal, a bedroll, and at least a modicum of entertainment in the form of tales from my homeland. Before I came here, I was a noblewoman, believe it or not, a courtier from Stierhol. She gets a faraway look in her eyes. It feels like a previous life. I wonder if I'll ever find my way back. I suspect not. Well, even if I could leave the Bloom and learn the direction of the Steadfast, she thinks, the journey itself would be lethal. Really? Okay. So, how did you get here? You've seen the Catena, I assume. She gestures towards she gestures broadly at the massive broken vehicle behind her. The Catena. Oh, that's a ship. Or looks like it, maybe. Being slowly subsumed by Bloom flesh. It's a kind of magical carrier capable of traveling great distances by skipping over the space in between. Governor Marizek's priests determined that it came through Searthal on a very precise schedule. It would appear at one of a few locations near Searthal every 73 hours. Well, among the nobles, it became a sort of adventure. We would dare one another to board the Catena, or even hold parties at a location where it was scheduled to appear. It was exciting. I knew people who went on such journeys and came back with the most wonderful tales. They'd spend a couple of days meeting strange, fascinating people and visiting wild locales. Some, I'm fairly certain, were not even in the 9th world. I had to see for myself. Isaac, she thinks, always had the most romantic tales. Clouds of crystal, pickleless shimmering fields, a dome of water in the desert. Oh, that's pretty awesome. A dome of water in the desert? That's pretty awesome. So about a year ago, she says, my friends and I threw a Catena gala in anticipation for its arrival. We packed and dressed for adventure, and when the carriage arrived, we boarded immediately. And she clasps her hands in front of her and sighs. Sadly, that was the Catena's final journey. It crashed here, tunneling through part of the Bloom. Most of the passengers were killed in the crash, and the rest in the months since. I'm all that's left of that voyage. I only wished for a tale half as romantic as his were, she thinks. Sadly, that will never be. Why? Yeah. You're a very strong person to have survived so long. I never considered myself strong, she says. If I was truly strong, I might have kept the others alive too. But thank you. Well, you know, yeah. Where's Searthal? She probably doesn't know. She doesn't know the way, so she can't know, right? Hundreds of kilometers from here, she says, from what I've learned. As I understand it, the Bloom is located in what we in Searthal call the Beyond. Or actually, Beyond the Beyond is... Oh, actually, that's right. You're right. Beyond the Beyond. I think we heard about this before. As I had never heard of the Sagas Protectorate or any of the places beyond, people talk about here. Serthal is one of the largest cities in the Steadfast. It perches on the edge of an enormous rift in the ground called Voil Chasm. Some streets and buildings even protrude from the cliff sides, not unlike your Sagas Cliffs, as I understand it. It's a cultural jewel in an otherwise war-torn nation. Oh, I think we've heard about that, didn't we? About the Steadfast. That's weird because of the name. That did confuse me a little bit. Let's look at her closely. Let's hope that she doesn't think I'm rude. You notice immediately that her rags are actually made of a high-quality fabric. It appears that they were once a fine green dress or gown, though it is now filthy and torn. She catches you looking and straightens her posture, seeming almost regal for a moment. Yeah, she did look like that before, didn't she? Okay, let's give her business. I'd like to sleep here. Of course, that will be 65 shins each. Holy crap, that's a lot! That's a lot. Let's give her money, though. Yeah. I wonder if that changes anything. She directs you towards her empty tent. I'll bring you a meal shortly. It's not much, but it's food. May you sleep well tonight. Okay.
That feels better.
It does, doesn't it?
That's the stuff.
That is. Okay. Let's see if she says anything different. Kion raises her hand in a beazles-like manner, belied, I think, only by her surroundings. You've returned. I don't suppose you've learned anything new about Delny and Vrung? No, actually, I haven't. Farewell. Farewell, sir? Okay, so let's try and figure out... I should be able to meet these requirements. I expect the star's heart to be delivered to me or my benefactor. Recall... All subjects shall be undamaged. Any modifications shall be capable of easy remediation. It might help if you told me what the Optero suit considers easy remediation, says that guy. We do not wish to reveal that information. Revealing capabilities may reveal weaknesses. Yeah, security by obscurity is not a good thing, man. Do I seem the sort who takes advantage of weaknesses? But very well. You will have your subjects. That's from Dracogen. Hey, Dracogen, what are you doing over there? What are you messing with that guy over there? Dracogen's flight eyes rove quickly across you, measuring and studying in a glance. He smiles warmly, but his eyes remain hard. You return, and more quickly than I had anticipated. Do you have something for me, perhaps? Or perhaps I can do something for you? Did I not ask you about this before? One of my companions is infested with demons of some kind. Literal demons, I believe. Can anyone in this place help him?
I'll remember that.
Demons. Huh. It is not a question. He stares at you for a moment. No, I know nothing about demons. Perhaps one of the doctors in Surgeon Slump will be able to assist you? Actually, the question that I would like to ask is if I can go to, if I can go back to up there. Tell me more about yourself. These are all on again, right? Oh, no, these are not again. Mentioned knowing Mil Avest before, about Mil Avest before. Sorry, the hiccup. You asked to plunder a great deal of knowledge, but I suppose you'll discover these things sooner rather than later, and it would behoove me to have you think well of me. Again, the shark-like smile. But we should make your questions come one at a time. Okay, so we're asking about all of his stuff. We didn't ask this before, which is a great thing because we're out of time. So let's ask this on the next episode. For now, I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been Torment. Tides of Numenera. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead and leave a comment, like the video, but above all, as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.